Hey everybody, Strange103 here today with another replay analysis. We are looking at Dangolon playing a Bismarck in a full German battleship ranked battle. This is of course the winter patch and whatnot. I will be trying to go through all the ranked replays as fast as I can to help you guys achieve your ranked one with hopefully a little bit better result, a little bit faster and of course less salt. But of course I will also be sweating in the non-ranked replays from before that I'm trying to get through. Now, what do we have here? Well, we have a game where you kind of wish you had an AP Bomber Enterprise. Because you can just go in, boop, and one-shot kill their battleships, and then just go away. Come back in 2 minutes and boop, one-shot kill another German battleship. But hey. Anyways, Bismarck being Bismarck, we do have access to the Hydroacoustic Search long-range secondaries that are rather accurate if we spec for them. And let's have a look at it. Can we press and hold H? No, we can't. Can we do this? No, we can't. There we go, it works. 11.3 kilowatt secondary armament. We are clearly heavily spec'd into our secondaries. We can even see that, well, let's see if we can actually have a look at the flags package here. We have the important Dreadnought. We even have some Papa free XP farming there. Some economy signals over there. We've got the fire signals and the high caliber one. Can be very useful. Do we have Dreadnought? Yes, we do. It's there. So it's good enough overall. And we have the secondaries one as well, but no anti-aircraft. So we have BFT considering we have 133 DPS on our 10.5 centimeter anti-aircraft guns, which also of course boosts our secondaries. We have 4 heals though, not 5. So of course this is an individual play decision that players just need to decide. The reason behind this is pretty simple. If you do not find yourself dying late enough, or surviving long enough, that is more like, and I would definitely salve the Edinburgh right now, one thing you can do, and I hate this, let me just quickly get rid of that hopefully, one thing you can do is just the Shift X the target, that way you will be able to always shoot the same area regardless of what you're doing, and in this case, you can see in this case it could be useful if the Edinburgh is trying to target us. We know there is a destroyer in the cap, so I would just launch the float plane fighter right now. We inform the team that we do Citadel the Edinburgh, which means it's, in this case, 8k less permanent health for him to regenerate. Our Lolyang seems to have connected late, which is of course a bit of a disadvantage. I would immediately focus fire on the Benson right now. That is the most important thing to shoot at right now. We're assuming he's going to reverse, and I hate this. F off. There we go. We do actually pick up a single reset, so that's a third of his total capacity reset. It is right now the New Orleans that is keeping him radar. We need to immediately aim on the... There we go. Let me just do that. Immediately aim on the Benson if we were to try to get another shot off, but it seems that the radar didn't fully catch. So, a bit unfortunate. Normally, I don't really suggest or enjoy this kind of a bow-on type of gameplay, and I would have had my plane up earlier because of the torpedoes. We're deciding to use a heal right now, so... well, it's basically just hoping we're going to keep taking fire. Otherwise, it's a bit of an early trigger on the heal. So right now, we just need to hope we take a bit more additional HE fire. The Bismarck going to be is actually pretty good right now because look, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right, 2 destroyers. Both of them are spotted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, yeah, okay. Literally everything has been spotted. So this guy's getting the cap for free. All he needs to do is not get himself spotted. Stay back a little bit. Do not shoot. Do not engage. This guy will just get the cap, and it's complete free to stop the points bleed that we're currently suffering. And on top of the points bleed we're currently suffering, being bow on, we're also suffering a health bleed. And here's the thing. Both of these guys, or all 3 of these guys, are now approaching Minor Island, although the Turpets could get a shot on us. They're going really, really far over there, but I wouldn't just sit here. It's usually just going to result in us getting farmed. And getting farmed is nicht so good if your team is in the losing situation. The rest of the team seems to be preparing to take defensive positions. That Turpets, he could be a little bit more out of this direction because these guys are going that way. So, there's nothing wrong with that. But something you need to keep in mind is that in situations like this, it's, okay, do you want to just continue reversing and try to gain distance and continue bleeding health? Or do you want to just go, alright, I'm going to lose probably 15-20k health. I'll make it out to turn now and I'm going to be in a much better situation later in the game. Because keep in mind, we're in Turpets, Bismarck class battleship. The probability of getting devastated across long range is incredibly low, especially so for out-turning the enemy battleship. Sure, we'll lose 10k damage broadside to them shooting at us, and now one of them's even shooting HE at us. It is the survivability expert guy. With damage control party that, the Turpin salvo will be well within the duration, instantly triggering the heal. Turpin achieves nothing. He's going to be behind the island as well, so he's not really going to be able to continue engaging us. Secondaries immediately clicked on the Lol Yang. A good reaction from us there, turning our gun turrets to engage as well. The allied Bismarck has yet to actually secure the cap because he made the mistake of sitting in the open. Let's have a look at his health. He's even stock. Secondaries do actually pick up a fire on the poor Lol Yang, but what we do have the problem here is that we are not in the gap. And our Lol Yang is taking a bit of a hammering right now. He's incredibly low HP. Those guys, I don't really know, but the Kagero is going in to stop the enemy battleship push. If he's able to do a lot of damage, that definitely wouldn't be too bad of a result for us. We're accelerating forwards now, which, sehr gut, good Arbeit, good work. Just keep moving forwards and get ourselves turned. So we're in a better position to engage. Edilol being Edilol and having the lowered Citadel compared to the Neptune and the Minilol means that we don't actually get to delete him right there. Would have been definitely very nice. Now at this point, the less we shoot at the Turpins and the Bismarck on the western side of the map, the higher the chance that our Kagero is going to find targets on them, because if we start making these guys turn, they're just going to start dodging the torpedoes as well. Looks like the Kagero has overled that, so that salvo doesn't really matter. But again, I would just accelerate, knowing that currently this Bismarck can't shoot us. Big fat island in the way. This guy is so far away, he's not going to achieve much. And if he does achieve much, it's just incredibly down, just 100% down to luck. Fortunately, all the torpedoes missed, and he shot the other guy. We're going back to reversing. I don't like this because our rear tower is just out of the game. We could be making moves, keeping the ship moving, which also helps in evading torpedoes because, well, at this point, they're not going to be able to torp us because they would have to sail into a New Orleans as radar range and probably get farmed. We finally do actually manage to cap the Bravo cap, the opponent team having left that sufficiently enough for our Bismarck to disengage and go conceal for a minute to actually nail the cap. With the Turpins in front of us now taking the damage, I would just keep moving, get up, and just disengage from a bow-on position. If you want to sit bow-on like this, stop playing the Bismarck. It's a bad ship for doing this kind of thing. The guns aren't reliable at long range. The guns aren't good. Your armor's not that great overall. Well, I mean, 50mm deck external plus your tapering belt means you're not going to get lol pen but as much. But on a serious note, it's just not the best ship to be doing this with anyways, because your guns aren't good. It seems we're actually getting reasonably lucky with our firepower in this game, but again, it's just a bit of a waste of a Bismarck. If you want to do this, play North Carolina. We do decide to trigger a hydroacoustic surge, and we're still just sitting in the same area. A thing to consider here is that we're now being pressured by 2 German battleships, plus potential crossfire. We need to keep that in mind. Crossfire from over here. So again, it's just a matter of considering, do I just want to GTFO and start kiting the opponent team? As we can see, their aim is absolutely horrible. Or do I want to try to actually take them on in a head-on fight like this? The Kagero does get a torpedo hit on the Turpins, which is good for us. One thing to consider is just to spam him down with HE at this point, but he's going to be entering our secondary battery firing range rather soon, so we don't really have a necessity for that. Slightly overled, is he just going to intern that, and there you go. He interns it, so unfortunately we failed to find a target on that. But he's currently seemingly flooding, so that's very good work by the Kagero. Secondary is engaging him as well. You can argue a case of, well, stop shooting him and shoot the Bismarck, but I don't really suggest you do that in a ranked situation. It's usually not very good. It just means you're kind of losing out on your ability to properly engage that. These guys have absolutely no clue how to aim on us properly, which is kind of nice for us. Not just going to deflect. At this point, I would consider just loading high explosives, because the secondaries are going ham. They're going to be setting fires at the time. Kagero spamming torpedoes, so if we can get these guys to trigger damage control parties, it will be good for us just to force them to damage control party. And it seems that we're because we're waiting for almost waiting for a full reload. That's way too overled. It's going to hit his bow and deflect. There we go. We do actually pick up 1 penetration through his main battery turret. The bit of a surprising salvo over there. But I would have swapped the high explosives at this point, because it's just going to achieve so much more for us at this point. We can aim at his superstructure, we can hit his deck, we can hit it anywhere on his bow. Those AT shells are going to penetrate for full damage. AP shells hitting his bow are they're just going to achieve nothing. Don't be ashamed to fire HE in any ship overall. In a situation like this, it's just going to do better, and you're playing for the rank. You don't care about this perceived dishonorable HE spam battleship crap. It is just complete bollocks. Anyways, the Bismarck on the opponent team seems to have manual secondaries as well. He just seems to have shorter range. The thing about secondaries like this is it really depends on who's going to have the better end of it. Double fire and our last heal at this point. I would consider damage control potting it, actually, because we are on fire, although we are fully damage control spec, but not having superintendent at this point means that we don't actually have access to the full amount of heals. The guy's currently turning away from us as well, so it's not too bad. He's going to broadside us, and we're going to get a pretty nice salvo against him, hopefully. 17,000 damage, very good damage there. The Kagero is currently spotted, but the team needs to start making a move. Bismarck of the Bravo line has already gotten himself killed, and the Kagero gets a face full of torpedoes on the guy. And we're finally free to actually press W and advance upon the enemy turpeds. We have 3 battleships alive, they only have 2. They're kind of blobbing up, but the points are slightly getting out of control, so we need to start picking up kills. The easiest way to secure this game is to take advantage of the health advantage that these 2 guys in the turpeds have. To just simply try to kill off the enemy turped, which is now making, again, another silly move. So we should be able to just concentrate firepower. I would get the number 3 and 4, the X and Y turrets in the Bismarck's case. I forgot the names. Just point them to this side of the map, turn towards Bravo, because this is likely where the opponent team is going to go and engage them. You can see we're now currently spotted, so likely the enemy team is preparing some moves. This guy is a pointless target to shoot at. We need to be engaging the turpeds and killing the turpeds. That is a primary target. We have a minute to engage and reset this guy. The other option is to front turret turpeds as our Kagero gets derped to death, which is very, very bad because we're now out of destroyers. Edenlol's even out there. Low HP target. Swing that rear turret around because we decided to do to swing the turret around. We need to be able to get it around. Again, just prepare to shift X the location anyways, but it seems that the guy isn't exactly keen on the slowing down fully. We slightly overlead that, but I think he's trying to re-accelerate, so this is probably going to get the kill. Nope, the Turpets gets the kill on him, which is still good for us. Now one of the guys just need to enter the Alpha cap just to lock down the points income from that. We're the furthest one behind. We have no reason whatsoever to be sailing broadside to 2 of these guys. We should just consider getting into Bravo and, well, either kiting or pushing them, launching our plane in the event that we are going to be seeing some fish coming our way. We're broadside, and the Bismarck in the distance is still deciding to shoot at the Turpet who's pushing him. Kind of makes sense because it's a guy pushing. And again, if the guy's just going to angle and we underlead that salvo, I would just make a consideration for spamming HE at the guy. There we go, we launch our first plane of the game. Simply pushing the Bismarck isn't too bad of an option, however we do know that the enemy, one of the enemy destroyers obviously is there. We're the one with the hydroacoustic surge, so if we're going to win this game, it's going to be purely down to the enemy destroyers being silly about it. They have the point advantage, all they have to do is to basically spot for each other and prevent us from entering the cap. 1 over pen, HE could maybe have done a little bit more, but the accuracy kind of stuffs us over there. But our secondaries are starting to do some work there. The guy kind of has to do a bit of an awkward turn around the island, and, well, turning our gun turrets earlier instead of engaging the turpets in Alpha turned out to be not too bad of a choice. We do suddenly spot one of the enemy Bensons. I wouldn't swap my secondaries on it. It kind of is a waste at this point. Just focus on killing the enemy Bismarck so we can re-enter the caps and contest. Killing the Bismarck will gain us, I believe, 100 points. Yep, 100 points differential, so it'll get us back sufficient time for us, well, for one of us to get into Alpha cap. At this point, we do need to be aware of our health, though. We've got 30k health. Which enemy destroyers are there? Benson and Luoyang. Benson can kill us at this point with 24k health left. He can kill us with 2 torpedo hits. The Luoyang will need 3 because his torpedoes do potato for damage. Bismarck's being a bit of a silly guy and showing us a reasonable broadside. Might be afraid of Turpet's torpedoes, but we're currently in a fight with him. But we do pick up the kill on that, so we now just immediately need to turn towards Alpha. Otherwise, we're going to suffer the points bleed. Turning the turrets here is, in my opinion, really, really bad. It means we're not getting towards where we need to be, the Alpha cap. The Luoyang is in the open right now, and we've decided to swap towards high explosive ammunition. In the turrets, it's not that bad, but, well, in the Bismarck even, the Bismarck class battleship is not too bad of a thing to do because of the fact that our AG shells are still fast enough. However, the friendly turrets APs him to death. And now we're finally turning towards Alpha. We should have done this ages ago. We're still in a potential position where we could lose. But, oh, the Benson makes a mistake. He exposes himself, like the Luoyang. That's an overlead. He's smoking up. We're not going to find any hits for that, I think. Yeah, we see our secondaries do actually get a hit, though. But one of the downsides here, well, one of the issues here is our hydroacoustic search is about to go down. So we're not actually going to be in a position to push him down. But at this point, without any of us having entered the Alpha cap, and the Benson having made the mistake of exposing himself in Bravo and trying to plink with no plane spotting, the guy is just not going to be spotted at this point. Looks like the friendly team are going to be taking a face full of torpedoes. Hopefully none of them die. Yep. Now, it's all going to be down to the Benson committing suicide on us. We can take 1 torpedo and survive. 2 torpedoes, we will need to bow tank them, but that's going to put us on sufficiently low HP. And this is one of the things about not having entered the alpha cap. Who knows what these turpitz are doing? That was just silly. But right now, as you can see, the point tickage. The points are just going to take down. We're not going to be able to win this, I think. So really unfortunate loss there, with the two turpitzes being completely super stupid and getting themselves. I don't even know. That's just pretty beautiful to watch. Not. And there you go, 1,000 points take down, and we unfortunately lose the game. So the question here is, could we potentially on our own have made better decisions to win this? As we have a look at the post-battle result screens. I guess we're looking at them the other way this time. Who cares about the credits? It's just, you know, that. Having a look at the detailed report screen, we did some pretty decent damage to the battleships overall. We did actually pick up a decent damage against the Endol as well. Benson, we do deal a little bit of damage to him and the Lol Yang. This was all of our secondaries, and I'm not sure if there was another German battleship somewhere over here, but it's not the world's biggest deal at all. Just to close that again. Thankfully, we're actually top on the scoreboard. We do get just enough, you know, over 100 XP, more than the Bismarck underneath us, so we do at least save the star. And here we are, Dreadnought High Caliber. So the real question is, could we have salvaged that? First of all, normally it's not recommended just to sit bow on with a Bismarck trying to trade with enemy battleships. We don't have Superintendent, so it could have made it a little bit more difficult for us to actually engage later on into the game, but that again is a decision, and if you do feel that you are not getting the full usage out of the 5 heals, you find yourself either dying or the game ending before your 5th heal is used, and you still have enough health at the end, then that is a perfectly legitimate decision to make, because we are a damage control party spec. I'm assuming AFT, manual, secondaries, we don't have Superintendent, we have BFT, and then the basics of survivability. With probably high alert and jack of all trades, it's definitely a very sensible and strong secondaries build. It just means that we're going to have to make full use of our secondaries to actually keep the DPM up, and we definitely did get some good damage out of this, 131,308 damage. Yeah, could we have salvaged it? Well, if we had been less bow on, more moving, maybe we could have engaged and destroyed the enemy battleships earlier. If we had gone into A in the later stages of the game, well, we still would have lost. Because the Benson despite the Benson making a silly move, he did actually get away with it because the friendly team was even dumber than the honestly really stupid move that the Benson made. All the Benson really had to do was just kite away, launch torpedoes, and then just GTFO. And it did seem like GTFO was exactly what he did, because we never caught with him at the end of the game. He never exposed himself to try to plink at us and risk losing him the game. So I guess a good torpedo drop by that Benson. More like terrible evasion by the friendlies, but hey. Other than that, in the early stages of the game, the opponent team went to the western side of the map. If the friendly Kagero had managed to get some better torpedo drops against these guys coming in, we would have saved ourselves a lot of time. If the friendly Kagero hadn't committed suicide in the end, we would have had a better time. If we'd focused on killing the turpits earlier, perhaps we could have gotten ourselves into A earlier, gotten our fleet to engage the western fleet and force earlier, and just saving time is the thing about ranked. But in the end of the day, with the Turpitz having done what they did, I don't actually believe the result of this game was even remotely in our hands. Even if we had played the early game perfectly, even if we'd been more aggressive, even if we killed enemy battleships off earlier, we still likely would have lost this because we were going to lose the Bravo cap. The enemy destroyer was there, we had no means to reset that. We were never really going to be able to effectively retake A if the Kagero had committed suicide like that. If we'd been able to kill the Turpitz off earlier, perhaps there's a chance that the Kagero could have survived, retaken A and saved us the effort, allowing the friendly battleships to pressure on the enemy's Benson. But other than that, I don't think this game would have, realistically speaking, been in a position where we could have secured it. So unfortunate result for you, dangolon there. At least you didn't lose your star. And that's the important thing about rank. It's not about how many games you win, or the rate at which you win. If you do win a lot of games but lose stars, you might be better off just having a slightly lower win rate but a much higher star saving rate. It's all about being efficient about things, and it's all about... I'll probably be making a video about this on my own. It is all about the psychology of the game as well. It's not just about your individual performance. A lot of this is the psychology of your team, and you need to try to make as best work as you can for that. Otherwise, you're kind of just, screwing yourself over. So the biggest tip I can give to anyone in ranked is just don't say anything. If you're going to say anything at the start of the game, decide where you want to go. Never ever criticize people for their moves. Do not talk back to people, never argue with idiots. They drag you down to their level and beat you with the experience. And on top of that, you demoralize them and their play later on when they see you no matter what. So if you make a good impression of yourself, you demoralize the players when they're on the opponent's team, and you give a morale boost to your friendly team, especially in the later ends of the season when they see a play name they know and feel comfortable with. So this is very important because it affects the way they play, whether you like it or not. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this when you play analysis. Feel free to send in your replay analysis, your replays for analysis, even English, difficult language. Send them in to replays.strangeness123@gmail.com. There will be an address in the description below. I'll try to get through them, but as these are all pre-recorded videos and I'm probably enjoying myself a bit of a short holiday up in the mountains, I won't actually be able to check up on any new replays until likely just around the New Year's period. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me a like if you did, tell me why if you didn't, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.